Commander Jake Sullivan sat in his chair on the bridge of the space station. The station moved slowly around the planet Xerion Prime, far from Earth. Jake had been watching the stars for 15 years. He knew every ship that came and went through. This part of space that the morning started like any other. The crew worked at their stations. Ships came through the jump gates. Everything was normal. Then Lieutenant Amy Martinez turned around from her desk. Her face was white with shock. "Sir, we have a problem," she said. Her voice shook a little. Jake looked up from his coffee. "What kind of problem?" "All the comm channels are dead." "Every single one." Jake put down his coffee cup. This was not possible. The galaxy had thousands of planets talking to each other every second. Ships, stations, and worlds all connected by quantum signals that moved faster than light. The system never failed. It could not fail. "Check it again," Jake said. Amy's fingers moved fast over her controls. She tried different channels. She tried emergency signals. She tried the old backup systems. Nothing worked. The galaxy had gone silent. "Sir, I'm getting nothing. Not even static. It's like every transmitter in the galaxy just stopped working at the same time." Jake stood up and walked to Amy's station. He looked at the screens. They showed flat lines where signals should be dancing. The quantum relay network that connected billions of people across space was completely dead. "When did this start?" Jake asked. "About 10 minutes ago." Everything just stopped. Jake felt cold fear in his chest. If the comm system was down, ships could get lost in space. People could die. Wars could start because nobody could talk to each other. "Send a message to Earth Command," Jake said. "Use the old radio systems." "Sir, that will take months to reach." "Earth," Amy said. "Do it anyway. We need to tell someone what's happening." Amy started working on the radio message. Jake walked around the bridge. His crew looked worried. They all knew how bad this was. Then the alarm started to sound. "Sir," called out Ensign Peter Cole from the sensor station. "I'm picking up something big on the edge of the system." Jake ran to the sensor station. On the screen, he saw a shape that made his blood run cold. A ship was sitting in space near the outer planets. But this was not like any ship he had ever seen. The ship was huge. It was 3 times bigger than the largest warship Jake knew about. Its hull was black as deep space. It seemed to eat light instead of reflecting it. The shape was wrong, too. Human ships were built with straight lines and sharp angles. This ship curved and flowed like something alive. "Where did it come from?" Jake asked. "I don't know, sir. It just appeared." 1 second space was empty. The next second it was there. Jake studied the readings. The ship gave off no heat, no radio signals, no engine noise. It sat in space like a dead rock, but Jake could feel that it was very much alive. "Try to contact it," Jake said. Amy worked at her station. She sent signals on every frequency she could think of. She used the standard greeting codes that all space travelers knew. She tried emergency signals. Nothing came back. "Sir, it's not answering." Jake looked at the black ship on his screen. Something about it made him think of old stories. Stories of ghost ships that appeared in the night. Stories of things that came from beyond the edge of the world. "Keep trying," Jake said, "and call Captain Ford. Tell her to get the Endeavour ready to launch." "Sir, should I tell her what's happening?" Jake thought about this. How could he explain that the galaxy had gone silent? How could he tell her about the black ship that appeared from nowhere? Tell her we have a first contact situation. Tell her to come fast. Amy sent the message using the short-range transmitters. These still worked because they did not need the quantum network. Jake hoped Captain Ford would understand how serious this was. Hours passed. The black ship did not move. It did not answer their calls. It just sat in space and waited. Then something changed. Sir, Amy said, I'm getting a signal. Jake's heart jumped. From the ship? Yes, sir. But it's not using any frequency we know about. It's coming through the old emergency channel. Jake frowned. The emergency channel was something from the old days, back when humans first started exploring space. Nobody had used it for 1,000 years. Can you understand it? Amy listened to her headphones. She shook her head. It's not in any language I know. It's not even using words. It sounds like ... like music. Jake put on his own headphones. The sound was strange. It rose and fell like a song, but there was something else in it. Something that made his mind think of numbers and patterns. Record everything, Jake said. Captain Ford will want to hear this. The UF's Endeavour came through the jump gate 2 hours later. Captain Lisa Ford was known throughout the fleet as someone who could handle difficult situations. If anyone could figure out what was happening, it was her. Jake sent all the information to the Endeavour. The dead come channels. The black ship. The strange music signals. He watched Ford's ship move carefully toward the unknown vessel. As the Endeavour got closer, Jake saw something that made his hands shake. The black ship was covered in symbols, lines and curves that seemed to move when he looked at them. Symbols looked almost familiar, like something from a dream he could not quite remember. Sir, Amy said quietly, what if it's not from our galaxy? Jake looked at the black ship again. It sat in space, like a piece of the night sky that had come. Alive. Whatever it was, wherever it came from, it had brought silence to the galaxy. And now it was waiting for something. Jake had the feeling that everything was about to change. The galaxy had gone silent when this ship appeared. Soon, Jake thought, everyone would know why. Captain Lisa Ford stood on the bridge of the UFS Endeavour as her ship moved toward the black vessel. She had been a captain for 12 years, but she had never seen anything like this ship. Her crew was nervous. She could feel their fear. Keep our distance, she told her pilot, Lieutenant Sam Harper. But get us close enough for a full scan. Yes, Captain, Sam said. His hands were steady on the controls, but Lisa could see sweat on his face. Chief Engineer Danny Park looked up from his station. Captain, I'm not getting any normal readings from that ship. No engine signatures, no life support systems, nothing. I can identify. Lisa nodded. This was what she had expected. The ship was unlike anything in their databases. What about the hull? She asked. The hull material doesn't match anything we know, said Dr. Corinne White, the ship's science officer. It's absorbing our scanner beams. It's like the ship is made of solid darkness. Security Chief Tony Blake spoke up from his station. Captain, I don't like this. That ship could be hostile. Lisa understood his concern. The ship had appeared just as the galaxy's communication system died. That could not be an accident. Dr. White, any luck with the signal they're sending? Lisa asked. Corinne shook her head. It's not a language. At least, not one made of words. The computer can't make sense of it. Lisa walked to the main screen. The black ship filled most of the view. It was beautiful in a strange way, but also frightening. The curves and symbols on its hull seemed to shift when she looked at them. Try sending them our standard greeting, Lisa said. The communications officer, Ensign Betty Ross, worked at her station. She sent the message that all space travelers knew. It was simple and peaceful. It said that they came in friendship. Minutes passed. No answer came back. Send it again, Lisa said. Use different frequencies. Betty tried again. Still nothing. Captain, Corinne said suddenly, the signal from the ship is changing. Lisa put on her headphones. The music-like sound was different now. It had a pattern that seemed familiar. Wait, Corinne said. She was working fast at her computer. I think I know what this is. She put the signal through her analysis programs. Numbers appeared on her screen. Captain, they're sending us mathematical sequences. Look at this. On the screen, Karen showed a series of numbers. These are prime numbers. 2, 3, 5, 7, 11, 13. Lisa felt excitement rise in her chest. Mathematics was universal. Any intelligent species would understand prime numbers. They're trying to show us they're intelligent, Lisa said. There's more, Karen said. After the prime numbers, there. Sending the Fibonacci sequence. 1, 1, 2, 3, 5, 8, 13 ... This was the first real communication they had made with the ship. Send them back the same sequences, Lisa ordered. Let them know we understand. Betty worked at her station. She sent the mathematical sequences back to the black ship. Then they waited. The response came quickly. The ship sent new numbers. Karen worked to decode them. Captain, these are star coordinates, she said. They're showing us star maps. Star? Maps of what? Lisa asked. Karen's face went pale. Captain, these are star maps of our galaxy, but they're wrong. They show stars in positions they haven't been in for thousands of years. Lisa felt cold. How old are these maps? Based on stellar drift patterns, I'd say about 50,000 years old. The bridge went quiet. Everyone stared at the numbers on the screen. There's more, Karen said. They're highlighting one specific coordinate. It's the location of the Sol system. Lisa's heart jumped. The Sol system was where Earth used to be. Earth, the home world of humanity. But Earth was gone. It had been destroyed in the solar wars 300 years ago. Now there was only an asteroid belt where the blue planet once spun. Are you sure? Lisa asked. Yes, Captain. They're asking about Earth. But they're using star maps from before human civilization even existed. Lisa walked around the bridge. Her mind was racing. How could anyone have star maps that old? How could they know about Earth? Captain, Danny said from his station, I'm picking up something else. The ship's hull ... It's not just absorbing our scanners. It's made of materials that shouldn't exist. What do you mean? The computer is showing elements that are older than our galaxy. The atomic structure is impossible. It's like the ship is made of pieces of the universe from before the Big Bang. Lisa felt dizzy. A ship made of impossible materials, carrying star maps from 50,000 years ago, asking about a dead world. What was happening? Send them new coordinates, Lisa said. Show them where Earth's system is now. Show them the asteroid belt. Karen worked with Betty to send the new star maps. They waited for a response. When it came, it was not what they expected. The ship began to move. Captain, Sam said, it's changing. Course. It's heading for the Sol system. Lisa watched the black ship turn in space. It moved without any visible engines, but it was clearly heading toward Earth's dead solar system. How fast is it going? Lisa asked. Faster than anything we've seen, Sam said. At this speed, it will reach the Sol system in 6 hours. Lisa made a decision. Set course for the Sol system. Maximum speed. Captain, Tony said, is that wise? We don't know what this ship wants. Lisa looked at the black vessel on her screen. It was already pulling away from them, heading toward the place where Earth used to be. They're going to Earth, she said. Or what's left of it. I need to know why. The Endeavor turned to follow the strange ship. As they traveled through space, Karen continued to work on the signals. Captain, I'm getting more transmissions, she said. They're sending information about themselves. What kind of information? I'm not sure. The mathematics are very complex. But I think they're trying to tell us where they came from. Lisa leaned over Karen's station. The numbers on the screen were unlike anything she had seen. These calculations, Karen said slowly, They're about parallel dimensions, about universes that exist alongside our own. Lisa felt her world shift. You mean they're not from our universe? I don't think so, Captain. I think they're from somewhere else entirely, somewhere that Earth still exists. The black ship continued toward the Sol system. The Endeavor followed, carrying questions that might change everything humanity thought they knew about the universe. As they traveled through space, Lisa wondered what they would find when they reached the dead system where Earth used to be. Would the strange ship find what it was looking for? Or would it find only empty space and broken dreams? Behind them, the galaxy remained silent. The quantum communication network was still dead. Billions of people across thousands of worlds could not talk to each other. And somehow, Lisa knew that the black ship was the key to everything. The ship that had come from impossible places, carrying impossible knowledge, heading toward the impossible hope that Earth might somehow still exist. The Sol system looked like a graveyard. Captain Lisa Ford stood on the bridge of the Endeavor and stared at the asteroid belt that had once been Earth. Chunks of rock and metal drifted where the blue planet used to spin. The black ship had stopped moving. It floated in the exact spot where Earth's orbit should have been. It's been sitting there for 2 hours, said Lieutenant Sam Harper. Just sitting and waiting, Lisa watched the strange vessel. It seemed to be studying the asteroid field. Sometimes it would move slowly between the larger rocks, as if it was looking for something specific. Any new signals? Lisa asked. Dr. Karen White shook her head. Nothing since we arrived. But Captain, I've been working on the transmissions from before. I think I understand what they were trying to tell us. Lisa turned to face her science officer. What did you find? Karen brought up images on the main screen. The mathematical sequences they sent weren't just star maps. They were coordinates for parallel universes, different versions of reality that exist alongside our own. You mean like the old science fiction stories? Asked Chief Engineer Danny Park. Not fiction, Karen said. The mathematics are real. According to their calculations, there are infinite versions of our universe. In some of them, Earth was never destroyed. In others, humanity never left the planet. In still others, Earth developed differently. Lisa felt her mind trying to understand this. So you think they're from a universe where Earth still exists? I think they're from a universe where Earth never needed to be left behind, Karen said. Where humanity grew and changed, but stayed on their home world. Security Chief Tony Blake spoke up. If that's true, then what are they doing here? Why come to a universe where Earth is dead? Before Karen could answer, the ship's alarms began to sound. Captain, called Ensign Betty Ross from the communications station. I'm getting a transmission. It's different from before. Lisa put on her headphones. The sound was clearer now. It still had the musical quality, but there were pauses and rhythms that seemed almost like speech. It's trying to talk to us, Lisa said. Karen worked at her station. I'm running it through the translation programs. The computer is starting to recognize patterns. Slowly, words began to appear on the screen. They were fragmented and unclear, but they were definitely words. Home ... seeking ... lost ... time ... Lisa felt chills run down her spine. They're looking for home. More words appeared. Earth. Children ... stars ... return. Captain, Karen said, I think they're trying to tell us that they're human. They're humans from the parallel universe where Earth survived. Lisa stared at the words on the screen. Humans from another reality. It seemed impossible, but everything about this day had been impossible. Send them a message, Lisa said. Tell them we're human too. Tell them we're from Earth. Betty worked at her station. She sent the message using the same mathematical codes the ship had been using. The response was immediate. The black ship began to move toward the Endeavor. "Captain," Tony said, "should we raise shields?" Lisa thought about this. The ship was huge and made of impossible materials. If it wanted to hurt them, their shields would not help. "No," she said. "Let them come." The black ship moved closer. As it did, Lisa could see more details on its hull. The symbols and curves seemed to be writing, but in a language that looked almost familiar. "Karen, are you recording all of this?" "Yes, Captain. The computer is analyzing everything." When the ship was close enough, something amazing happened. A section of the black hull became transparent. Through it, Lisa could see the interior of the ship. "My God," Danny whispered. Inside the ship, they could see figures moving around. They were human in shape, but there was something different about them. They moved with a fluid grace that seemed almost like dancing. "They're trying to show us they're human," Lisa said. The figures inside the ship moved to what looked like a control room. One of them stepped forward and raised a hand in greeting. Lisa raised her own hand. The gesture was universal. It meant peace. The communication channel crackled to life. This time, the voice was clearer. "Greetings, humans. Of this reality." Lisa's heart jumped. "This is Captain Lisa Ford of the UFS Endeavor. Who are you?" "We are the Ascendant. We are humans, from the reality where Earth lives." Lisa felt tears in her eyes. "You're from the universe where Earth survived." "Yes, we are seeking other humans across the realities. We have traveled many universes, many versions of humanity." Karen was working frantically at her station. "Captain, the communication is getting clearer. The computer is learning their language patterns." The voice from the ship became stronger. "We are the last of our reality. Our universe is dying. We built this ship to find other humans, other versions of humanity that survived and grew among the stars." Lisa felt her breath catch. "Your universe is dying?" "A great darkness is consuming our reality. It eats everything, stars, planets, life itself. We escaped just before it reached Earth. We carry the last memories of our world." Tony stepped forward. "Captain, if their universe is dying and they open some kind of doorway to get here, double quotes." Lisa understood what he was thinking. "Could that darkness follow you here?" The voice from the ship was quiet for a moment. We do not know. The doorway we opened should have closed behind us, but the quantum field is still disrupted. Your communication system is damaged because of our arrival." Karen looked up from her station. "Captain, that explains why the galaxy went silent. Their dimensional crossing disrupted the quantum network." Lisa walked closer to the main screen. The human figures inside the black ship were watching her too. "How long have you been traveling between realities?" Lisa asked. "Many years. We have seen versions of humanity that never left Earth, versions that died in wars, versions that became something beyond human understanding. You are the first we have found that grew strong among the stars." Lisa felt pride and sadness at the same time. "We've had our problems. We lost Earth to war. Many of us died, but we survived. Yes, we can see your strength, your ships, your stations, your empire among the stars. You became what we could not. You found a way to live without Earth." The ship's communication channel crackled with static. Then a new voice spoke. It was deeper, more urgent. "Captain Ford, this is Commander Rick Thompson of the Ascendant. We need to talk. The dimensional doorway is still open. Something is coming through." Lisa felt cold fear. "What kind of something?" "The darkness that destroyed our universe. It has found the doorway. It is coming to your reality." The bridge of the Endeavor went silent. Everyone stared at the screen. "How long do we have?" Lisa asked. "Days, perhaps hours. The darkness moves quickly once it finds a new universe to consume." Lisa looked at her crew. They were scared, but they were ready to fight. That was what humans did. They fought for their survival. "What do we need to do?" Lisa asked. "We must work together. Our ship has weapons and technology from our reality. Your people have knowledge of this universe. Together, we might be able to close the doorway and stop the darkness." Lisa made her decision. "We'll help you. But first, we need to warn me. Galaxy, we need to tell everyone what's coming." "The quantum network is still damaged," Karen said. "We can't send messages to the other systems." Commander Thompson's voice came through the speakers. "We can help with that. But first, we need to get to work. The darkness is coming, and it will not wait for us to be ready." Lisa looked at the asteroid belt around them. Earth was gone, but humanity lived on, in this universe and others. Now they had to fight to keep it that way. "All right, Commander Thompson. Let's get started." The first sign of the coming darkness was the screaming of the stars. Captain Lisa Ford stood in the joint command center they had built between the Endeavor and the Ascendant. Human crews from both ships worked side by side, trying to understand. Technology, it seemed like magic. "The quantum field is getting worse," Dr. Karen White reported. "The disruption is spreading across the galaxy." Commander Rick Thompson from the Ascendant studied the readings. His people looked like humans, but they moved with an unusual grace. Their eyes held a sadness that came from watching their universe die. "In our reality, it started the same way," Rick said. "First, the communication networks failed. Then the stars began to change." "Change how?" Lisa asked. "They started to go out, not explode or collapse. They just stopped existing, like they were being erased." Chief Engineer Danny Park looked up from his workstation. "The readings I'm getting don't make sense. Space itself is being damaged. The basic laws of physics are breaking down." Lisa walked to the main display. It showed their section of the galaxy. Several star systems were marked in red. "Those are the systems we've lost contact with," she said. "The ones closest to where you came through." "Captain," called Security Chief Tony Blake from across the room. "We're getting emergency signals from the outer colonies. Short-range transmissions only." Lisa moved to Tony's station. The messages were fragments, broken and desperate. Stars going dark. Ships disappearing. Nothing left where Centauri used to be. Shadow in space. It's eating everything. God, help us. Colony ships are launching, running for the core worlds. But where can we go? Lisa felt sick. Millions of people were in danger, and they could not even warn them properly. How long until the darkness reaches the main population centers? Lisa asked. Rick studied the dimensional readings. Based on how fast it moved through our universe, perhaps 3 days. 3 days, Lisa repeated, to save the galaxy. Not save, Rick said quietly, to give it a chance to survive. Lisa looked at him. What do you mean? The darkness cannot be fought with weapons. It is not alive in any way we understand. It is entropy itself, the end of all things given form. But it can be contained. How? By collapsing the dimensional doorway. By trapping it between realities where it cannot reach either universe. Dr. Karen White looked up from her calculations. The energy required would be enormous. We'd need to destabilize the quantum field across several light years. The Ascendant can do it, Rick said. But the ship will be destroyed in the process. And someone will need to guide the collapse from inside the dimensional space. Lisa understood. You're talking about a suicide mission. I'm talking about the only chance your universe has. The command center went quiet. Everyone understood what this meant. There has to be another way, Danny said. Some way to close the doorway without destroying the ship. Rick shook his head. We've run every calculation. The Ascendant's dimensional. Drive is the only technology powerful enough to collapse the doorway. But it requires manual control from within the space between realities. Then we'll find volunteers, Lisa said. People who understand the stakes. Captain, Tony said, we're getting more reports. The darkness has reached the Vega system. All 8 planets ... They're gone. Lisa felt the weight of billions of lives on her shoulders. Show me. The main display changed to show the Vega system. Where 8 worlds used to orbit their star, there was only empty space. Not even debris remained. It's like they never existed, Karen whispered. That's exactly what it is, Rick said. The darkness doesn't destroy things. It removes them from reality entirely. In our universe, we called it the Void Collective. Collective? Lisa asked. It's not just one entity. It's made up of the end states of thousands of universes. Every reality that has ever died feeds into it. It grows stronger with each universe it consumes. Lisa stared at the empty space where Vega used to be. How many universes has it destroyed? We? Don't know. Hundreds. Maybe thousands. Our scientists thought it might be infinite. Then why are we even trying to fight it? Rick smiled sadly. Because that's what humans do. We fight even when we can't win. We try to save what we can. The alarms began to sound again. Betty Ross at the communications station looked up with fear in her eyes. Captain, I'm getting signals from the core worlds. Fleet Command is ordering all ships to fall back to Earth's sector. Lisa frowned. Earth's sector? But Earth is gone. They're setting up a defensive line around the Sol system, using the asteroid belt as a natural barrier. That won't work, Rick said. The darkness will go through the asteroids like they're not there. Then we need to warn them, Lisa said. We need to tell them what they're really facing. The quantum network is still down, Karen said. We can't reach them. Then we'll have to go there ourselves, Lisa decided. How long to reach the core? Worlds? At maximum speed, 18 hours, reported Sam Harper from the pilot station. We don't have 18 hours, Rick said. The darkness is moving faster now. It will reach the core worlds in 12 hours. Lisa looked around the command center. Her crew and Rick's people were working together, trying to find a solution. But she could see the truth in their faces. They were running out of time. What if we split up? She said. Part of the fleet goes to warn the core worlds. The other part stays here to work on collapsing the dimensional doorway. The Ascendant needs to be at the doorway, Rick said. Without our ship, there's no way to close it. Then we'll have to warn them another way. Tony Blake stepped forward. Captain, I volunteer to take a fast ship to the core worlds. I can warn them about what's coming. And I'll go with him, said Danny Park. They'll need someone who understands the technical aspects. Lisa nodded. Take the scout ship Falcon. It's the fastest we have. As her crew prepared to leave, Lisa turned back to Rick. How long do we have to prepare the dimensional collapse? We need to start now. The longer we wait, the stronger the darkness becomes. What do you need from us? Your people's knowledge of this universe's quantum structure, and your courage. This will be dangerous for everyone involved. Lisa looked at the display showing the spreading darkness. Already, a dozen star systems had gone silent. Millions of people were fleeing toward the core worlds, not knowing that they were running toward a trap. Commander Thompson, she said, let's get to work. As the two crews began their desperate preparations, Lisa thought about the irony of the situation. The galaxy had gone silent when the Ascendant appeared. Now, That silence was spreading across the stars in the form of an absolute darkness that erased everything it touched. But humans from two different universes were working together to fight it. That had to count for something. The darkness was coming, but humanity was ready to meet it. Even if it meant the end of everything they had built among the stars, they would fight. Because that's what humans did. They fought for each other, for their future, and for the hope that somewhere, in some universe, humanity would survive and grow and reach for the stars again. The battle for reality itself was about to begin. The space between realities was like nothing Captain Lisa Ford had ever seen. Colors that had no names flowed around the joined ships like liquid light. The laws of physics bent and twisted, making her feel dizzy. Stay close to the Ascendant, she told her pilot, Sam Harper. If we get separated in here, we might never find each other again. The combined crews had spent the last 6 hours preparing for this moment. Tony Blake and Danny Park had reached the core worlds just in time. The fleet was evacuating the inner systems, moving billions of people to safe areas far from the spreading darkness. But safety was only temporary. If they failed here, the darkness would eventually consume everything. Status report, Lisa called out. Dr. Karen White looked up from her readings. The dimensional doorway is directly ahead. I'm picking up massive energy disturbances. Commander Rick Thompson's voice came through the communication system. Captain Ford, we're approaching the center of the dimensional space. This is where we'll make our stand. Lisa looked at the main display. Ahead of them, she could see the doorway, a tear in reality itself that pulsed with unnatural light. Through it, she could see the darkness of the Void Collective pressing against the barrier. It's trying to get through, she said. It's been trying since we arrived, Rick replied. But the dimensional space is holding it back, for now. The Ascendant moved into position near the doorway. Lisa could see Rick's crew working frantically inside their ship. They were preparing the dimensional drive for collapse. Captain, Karen said, I'm reading something else. There are other ships in the dimensional space. Lisa looked at her scanner display. She could see distant shapes moving in the strange light. Ships from other realities, Rick explained. Other versions of humanity that tried to escape the darkness. Some of them have been trapped here for years. Lisa felt sadness for these lost travelers. Can we help them? If we succeed in collapsing the doorway, we can create a stable pocket of dimensional space. A place where the ships can exist safely. But it will require precise control. What do you need us to do? When we begin the collapse, the Endeavor will need to act as an anchor point. Your ship's quantum systems will help stabilize the process. Lisa nodded. We're ready. But even as she said it, the alarms began to sound. The darkness was pushing harder against the dimensional barrier. It knows we're here, Rick said. It's trying to break through before we can close the doorway. On the display, Lisa could see the barrier beginning to crack. Tendrils of absolute darkness were seeping through the gaps. How long do we have? She asked. Minutes, maybe less. Lisa looked around her bridge. Her crew was scared but determined. They had come this far together. They would see it through to the end. All stations, prepare for dimensional collapse, she ordered. The Ascendant began to glow with internal light. The dimensional drive was charging up, preparing to tear apart the space between realities. Captain, Karen said, I'm getting readings from the other ships. They're trying to help. Lisa looked at the display. The lost ships from other realities were moving closer. Even though they came from different universes, they were all human. They understood what was at stake. Open a channel to all ships, Lisa ordered. The communication system crackled to life. Voices in different languages came through, but the universal translators were working. This is Captain Shun of the Earthship Harmony. We stand with you. Commander. Jackson of the colony ship New Hope. We're ready to help. Captain Williams of the exploration vessel Distant Star. For humanity. Lisa felt tears in her eyes. Humans from across the multiverse, all working together to save their realities. This is Captain Ford of the UFS Endeavor. Thank you all. Today, we fight not just for our universe, but for the idea that humanity can survive anything. The dimensional barrier cracked further. The darkness was almost through. Beginning dimensional collapse in 10 seconds, Rick announced. Lisa gripped her chair. All hands, brace for dimensional collapse. The Ascendant's drive activated with a sound like reality, tearing apart. The space around them began to fold and twist. Lisa felt her stomach turn as the laws of physics changed around her ship. The doorway is collapsing, Karen reported, but the darkness is fighting back. On the display, Lisa could see the void, collective pushing through the cracks in the barrier. Tendrils of absolute nothing reached toward their ships. Rick, we need more power, Lisa called out. I'm giving everything we have, Rick replied. But it's not enough. The darkness is too strong. Lisa looked at the other ships from different realities. They were all struggling against the collapsing space. What if we linked our ships together? She asked. Combined our power? It might work, Karen said. But the energy feedback could destroy us all. Lisa made her decision. Better to die trying than to let the darkness win. All ships, prepare to link quantum systems. The ships from different realities moved closer together. Engineers from each vessel worked to connect their power systems. It was dangerous, but it was their only chance. Quantum link established, Karen recorded. All ships are connected. The combined power of human ships from across the multiverse flowed into the Ascendant's dimensional drive. The collapse began again, stronger this time, but the darkness fought. Back harder. A massive tendril of void reached toward the Endeavor. Evasive maneuvers, Lisa ordered. Sam tried to turn the ship, but the dimensional space made normal flight impossible. The tendril touched the Endeavor's hull. Lisa watched in horror as part of her ship simply ceased to exist. Not destroyed, but erased from reality. Hull breach on Deck 7, Tony Blake reported, but there's no atmosphere leaking. The breach doesn't exist in normal space. The darkness is trying to erase us, Rick said. We need to finish this now. The dimensional drive reached critical power. The doorway began to collapse faster. Rick, Lisa called out, get your people to the escape pods. We can handle the final sequence. No, Rick replied. Someone needs to stay with the drive to control. The collapse. If it goes wrong, both universes could be destroyed. Lisa understood. Rick was sacrificing himself and his ship to save everyone else. There has to be another way, she said. There is, Rick said quietly. You and your crew can come with us. The collapse will create a stable pocket dimension. We can all survive there together. Lisa looked around her bridge. Her crew was listening to every word. But we'd be cut off from our universe, she said. Double quotes, yes, but humanity would survive. All of our different versions, together in one place. Lisa thought about this. They could save themselves, but they would be abandoning their own reality. Captain, Karen said, the collapse is reaching critical point. We need to decide now. Lisa looked at the display. The darkness was being pushed back, but slowly. The doorway was almost closed. Rick, how many people are on your ship? 200. The last survivors of our Earth. And there are about 50 people on each of the other ships. Yes, Lisa made her choice. All ships prepare to enter the pocket dimension. We're going to save everyone we can. The ships moved closer to the collapsing doorway. The dimensional space around them became more stable as the collapse continued. The darkness is being pushed back Karen reported. The doorway is almost sealed. But just as victory seemed certain, the Void Collective made one final push. A massive wave of darkness surged toward the ships. It's going to break through, Rick said. Lisa watched the wave approach. In seconds, it would reach them. Then she saw something amazing. The lost ships from other realities moved to block the darkness. They put themselves between the void and the other vessels. What are they doing? Lisa asked. They're sacrificing themselves, Rick said with wonder in his voice. They're using their ships to absorb the darkness while we escape. Lisa watched as brave humans from across the multiverse gave their lives to save the others. Ship after ship was consumed by the void, but their sacrifice bought precious time. The pocket dimension is stable, Karen reported. We can enter safely. All remaining ships follow the Ascendant into the pocket dimension. Lisa ordered. The surviving vessels, the Endeavor, the Ascendant, and 3 other ships entered the stable space that the collapse had created. Behind them, the doorway, sealed shut with a flash of light that filled the dimensional space. Lisa looked around. They were in a small bubble of normal space, surrounded by swirling colors. Is it over? Sam asked. The doorway is sealed, Rick confirmed. The darkness cannot reach either universe now. Lisa felt relief wash over her. And the quantum network? Should be restored within hours, Karen said. The dimensional disruption is ending. Lisa opened a channel to all the surviving ships. This is Captain Ford. We've done it. The galaxy is safe. Cheers came from all the ships. Humans from different realities celebrating together. But what about us? Asked one of the other captains. Are we trapped here? Rick's voice was calm. This pocket dimension is stable. We can live here. And over time, we might find ways to travel between realities safely. Lisa smiled. A new frontier. New worlds to explore. New versions of humanity to meet. Captain, Karen said, I'm picking up signals from our universe. The communication network is coming back online. What are they saying? The darkness is gone. The missing star systems are still lost, but the spread has stopped. The galaxy is safe. Lisa felt proud of what they had accomplished. The galaxy had gone silent.